You made it. Welcome back. Yeah, BEA, beautiful soul, solid soul here. And today's video, I'm going to be going over the Warrior's Den. A lot of big changes, and of course, feat changes is what I've always wanted them to focus on. And they are focusing on quite a few feats in this game, the really egregious ones. There's some there that are left out, but most of them, I'd say, they're great. Fantastic changes, okay? And then I'll showcase some of the armor sets that are coming out and the weapons too, so they're pretty freaking good looking. And then some hero changes at the end. There's not as much as I'd like, but overall, if they're going to spend most of the stuff and all the money on feat changes, I'm totally okay with that. I'm totally okay with that because feats on Dominion are pretty frustrating to fight against when they're all stacked together, okay? Still no single pick, but that's not that big of a deal since they're going to be nerfing Oathbreaker. Oathbreaker is going to be nerfed, but it's not as much as you would think. But let's just quickly go over it as much and as fast as possible. So, Kiai, guys. Now, Kiai, it is not going to take all your stamina anymore. But the thing is, Kiai is going to deal 80 stamina still for a tier 1. I mean, for tier 1, removing someone's almost their entire stamina is pretty freaking good. Anyways, I mean, some characters have like 120 stamina, like Orochi has 120 stamina, okay? Orochi has 120 stamina, and then I believe most characters have 120 stamina, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they pretty much all have 120 stamina, so it's 80 stamina. That's pretty much like 3/4 of your HP, or your stamina still, but that's a nerf, I suppose. It's better than nothing, but if you attack and you have like maybe you did like a heavy feint or whatever and a guard break, that means you probably might lose pretty much all your stamina. So still, it's a pretty solid nerf still, and Kiai is used on Orochi and Shinobi, so those characters, they probably, I mean, it's not really a meta pick anyways. You kind of be running Bounty Hunter for your meta pick, but Kiai is still really good to get away from people, but it reduces your stamina cost, and it's pretty solid. When it comes to Sinister Shield, this is a Black Prior feat. It now sacrifices 30 health from 25, so you have to take a little bit more of a risk to give shields to your teammates, and now it only lasts 8 seconds down from 10, so that's a pretty big nerf, but it's still gonna have great value for your tier 1 anyways. I mean, that's kind of your meta pick, and you don't really need to run any other tier 1, but you can mess around if you wanted to. I think he has Speedy Revive as well, so it's not that helpful, but Sinister Shield, a slight nerf, and it's not going to be super impactful because you still have your tier 2 to heal yourself, unless you want to run Doom Banner, which is going to be their meta pick, but it's not that big of a deal. Pretty decent nerfs right there. Gravity's Pull, this is Afeera. Thank God they are nerfing this tier 1. This is tier 1, so it's 15 damage down from 20, so they're nerfing the damage, and the cooldown has been up to 90 seconds. This is what I asked for, down from up from 60 seconds. So before, she would get it literally every single fight, and it was the most egregious thing. The good thing about this feat, what makes it super powerful, is that it will pin, so it lands easy damage from your enemy. So they get a free heavy basically, and it's a really fast input. 500 ms. I think the speed is just fine. It could be 600 ms if you needed to, but I think that's a solid change in my opinion. So that's going to be nerfed. So that's a really good change for a tier 1. Okay. The next one is Take Shelter, and this heals. Okay. The next one is Take Shelter, and this one is going to be Varangian Guard's tier 1. And when she got a full block, she would heal for 10 health beforehand. Now it's going to heal only for 5 HP and an AoE effect. This was incredibly strong. You get a ton of full blocks with the character because it lasts, the duration of the full block lasts so long. You would always get it. It's such a good move. It's probably one of the best full blocks in the entire game next to Black Prior, but Black Prior requires a little bit more finesse and reads on that matter. And so this is going to be nerfed down to 5, which is good. For a tier 1, I think that's a very insane value. It will cleanse bleed, it will cleanse fire, and all that good stuff. So very powerful. I think it's still going to be your pick for your tier 1. You could also run Tireless too, but I don't think that's as powerful as getting healing from a full block, because healing and external attacks when you're target swapping, when people are target swapping you, really powerful for the character, because you also have crushing counters as well, so you never really know what the character's going to do. You have to make a pretty good read on it, so that's a really insane nerf, and I think this should be good enough. It shouldn't be too powerful now. It was really powerful before. Juggernaut is the next feat for the tier 2 that is getting nerfed, and as you can see here, damage reduction applied is now 20% down from 50%, so this is a huge nerf for this tier 2. This is a big nerf, so no more stalling with this as much. And I think personally, with the character like Lawbringer, I would always, and also Hitakiri as well, because they're both anchors and tanks, I would always run Righteous Deflection anyways, because getting those parries is way more impressive, and you also get way more damage reduction, more than Juggernaut now. So that's going to be a pretty good buff to switch it up with tier 2s. If you want to have a little bit more survivability, you can run Juggernaut too, because you also get a little bit of you don't get knocked back as easily with light attacks and stuff. But having Righteous Deflection, getting more damage reduction for a successful parry, which is more skill based instead of just popping a tier 2. I think that's more rewarding in my opinion. So I think that's a good nerf. Juggernaut definitely has been really overpowered for the longest time. So this is a great nerf for the tier 2. Alright, for tier 3s, we're going to have Speeding Combat. This is Afeera's tier 3. Afeera's tier 3, it has that full block property, and it also travels a bit. So it deals 20 damage now from 30 with the follow-up heavy attack. Now, the reason why this feat is so strong is because it pins, and it has full block properties, and it also allows your teammate to land free heavies. That's why it's so freaking good. It's 500 MS as well, so it's really fast. And you have to be looking out for it. You can use it to like option select your ass so fast. It's a great, very powerful feat that will still be utilized because it's going to be your best feat anyways, and you get an extra I believe it's an extra heavy attack afterwards, so it's still going to do a ton of damage. It's still going to do a ton of damage, and you're going to be pretty safe when you use it to option select anything that you want to. So this character is still going to be incredibly strong, has really good feet still, great for pinning, great for setups and all that good stuff. So this is a well-deserved nerf that should have been done like within 1 month or 1 week of the character's release. But they had like the infinite problem with the character where she can infinitely bash you onto a wall. Actually hilarious. And then of course they had to nerf the damage on her entire mix-up. So this is a good nerf. I'm really happy about that. And the cooldown has also been increased to 120 seconds because she could also get this within like almost every fight. She'd have to wait a little bit, but it would just deal so much damage. If someone had a lot of renown in the beginning of a fight within a minute or so, or they got like 5 kills straight in a row, I mean, this character would just use this at least 3 times in a game, and it was just the most atrocious experience. It's not that fun, it's not rewarding, and it doesn't feel good to play against. Now moving on to Pugio. This Pugio has been ridiculously OP for the longest time. This is a is it 300? No, it's 400 MS, I believe. It should be, let me just double check. I believe it is 400 MS. Pretty much unreactable. This is, you have to like dodge it preemptively and expect it to come out, because Orochi is also incredibly fast. I believe it is 400 MS as well. No, it's 300 MS. It's a 300 MS attack, I just remember. It's 300 MS, that's why you had to dodge super duper early, and it is a projectile. So they nerfed the damage to 15 down from 25. So now when you pin with the 15 damage, I think that's a fair number. 15 damage, it pins, and it lands a guaranteed charged heavy. So 27 freaking damage into your chain mix-up with one of the best ganks in the entire game. So great nerf, and I'm glad they finally decided to nerf it because it was way too powerful. 25 plus 27 was ridiculous for a tier 3. And yeah, we could definitely look at longbow and those projectile feats that are 50 damage, but they're also 700 MS, so they're incredibly slow. You can definitely react to them on reaction. It's pretty easy to dodge those, but they're projectiles, so if they should get shot from behind, get backshotted, I mean, that's just gonna hurt you. That's gonna hurt your butt. But Pugio definitely needed some nerfs. I think this is a great change, and Centurion's still gonna be a strong pick. Just don't expect anti-ganking because you gotta pull your pants down, okay? Now Fury is the next one. Damage buff is now 20%. Down from 35. Very big changes, huge changes, and the reason why they nerfed this is because of Fire Flask, but we'll go over that afterwards. Damage reduction buff is now 20% down from 35, so this is just an overall nerf. You're still going to be using this most of the time. For characters like Warlord, you're going to be using this. Characters like Valkyrie, you're going to be using your Javelin instead. You don't really want to be using Fury and Flask with Valkyrie. With Rapid Refresh and using your Javelin, I think you can get that a lot faster, and it's way more impressive and powerful than just using Fury Flask every single time. In my opinion, at least, that's what I like to run, and you get a lot more use with your tier 3. Because I think it's just better to have a strong projectile and finish people off with both hands instead of just using Fury Flask and saving that for like a big team fight. You know, it's up to you though. It's up to your playstyle. But the next big one is going to be Invigorate. This is Shaolin's tier 3. This is where he would basically heal a bunch of HP in an AoE effect, himself included. And that was ridiculously busted. It was OP as hell. If you picked a character like Nobushi, which is pretty strong in teamfights, but if you picked a character like Shaman or Peacekeeper who really had no agency in teamfights except for like ganking, which was pretty bad for Shaman, but pretty good for Gladiator, this would basically nullify your entire existence. Peacekeeper would basically not exist as a character, and she really doesn't really exist as well unless you're incredibly good at the character, have really good game sense, which is not for the most of the player base, which is pretty sad. And I mean, not everyone has time to play For Honor, you know. Peacekeeper takes a lot of game sense and time to perfect. But this will now heal only 4 HP down from 8, so that's a really good change. I wish that they also nerfed it a little bit more, because the 4 HP, it will just heal a lot of bleed in general, and so I want it so that if you don't land this, if you get blocked or if you get parried, it should not activate. It needs to activate only on hit. Maybe on block is okay, but I don't think that's okay. It's too rewarding. Healing in general is pretty powerful. It used to be really insane. Second one used to heal like half your HP. It did like 50 HP. It was very good, and then they nerfed it down hardcore, so to 30 damage. So I think this is a good nerf, but a little bit more would be more in line with my ideals of how healing would be, because then otherwise you'd have to buff Peacekeeper having more raw damage, which I would totally be okay with, and have the blade do less damage, but to keep the damage the same. And the last one for the tier 3 is going to be Oathbreaker. Oathbreaker will no longer prevent targets from gaining shields. Now, Oathbreaker is still unfortunately going to take away all your shields when you have revenge. This is still going to be his meta pick, alright? I know a lot of people just run Tough as Nails. There's Giga Chads out there, but I like to use Cancer to fight against Cancer. For Honor's Cancer, okay? It's painful to play. We're basically always pulling down our pants when we get into anti-gank situation with Black Prior. And if there's 2 Black Priors, my god, good luck, dude. You're not going to survive an anti-gank at all. JC said there was some sort of counterplay. Oh my god, I gotta clip it for you guys. I gotta show it to you guys. JC said there was some type of counterplay.
So instead, what it does now is I have to wait until you pop Revenge for me to pop it. You can bait Revenge activation. There's a lot of stuff you can do as a player to kind of counter. There's a bit more counterplay to Oathbreaker than it was before. That should make a big difference there.
Yeah,
and
okay.
also, right now we have a known issue that we're still looking.
There's no counterplay to Oathbreaker. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is bash him, bash the person in Revenge who hasn't popped it yet, and they're gonna have to react to the light attack or in heavy feint, and then pop it, and then they can use Oathbreaker. There's no counterplay. You can't do anything. But now they're gonna be a little bit easier for the player who has Revenge or who's going to pop it. So you can't use this preemptively anymore. Oathbreaker will not be used preemptively. It has to be used when they pop it or when they have shield. So that's going to be the nerf. I think it's still going to be ridiculous. I wish they nerfed it when it came to not removing all the shields, maybe like 50% of it. 50% or something, I don't know. That would have been interesting. Although for a tier 3, it wouldn't be as powerful. But I mean, 50 to 75% seems okay. But even so, that just seems super duper unfun. Like I think it should just get removed, honestly, because that feat is just not fun game design. It's not good game design, period, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but it's a nerf, but it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing, you know? I mean, when you're fighting a BP that has Oathbreaker, it's just a matter of time before you die. It really is. So you have to pop Revenge instantly, unless you're fighting like a good stack that's just gonna absolutely take away 100 to 80 your HP or 100 to 20 your HP. You're basically dead afterwards anyways, because it's like 1 or 2 heavies. The next feat changes is tier 4's Fire Flask is just gonna have less damage. 30 used to be 50, so pretty good nerf overall. There is a Fire Flask usage in Arcade, and I kind of would like it to do like an aerial denial effect, but like damage over time. So that'd be something cool, but they're just nerfing the damage overall, and it's conjunction with the Fury Flask, and that's why they're nerfing it so much. So basically, Fire Flask is gonna be the same if they have Fury. So you combine those two, and they're not gonna do as much damage, but it's gonna do decent damage now for a tier 4. It's just not gonna wipe someone and take away all their HP. Same thing for Spear Storm and Fury Storm. Spear Storm now deals 30 damage, down from 70. This is going to be Highlander's tier 4, which is gonna be insane out in the open, but you can't cast this inside the building, which is nice. But now they're just gonna nerf it down to 30 per wave, so it's freaking insane still. It's gonna be a pretty good feat, but it's not gonna be overpowered anymore. Fear Itself is also getting pretty nerfed, 40% down from 50%. I mean, it's a good change. Fear Itself was definitely gonna be your meta pick for like Orochi and Shinobi. Those were very strong feats to be using on those characters. You can also run a Nail Bomb too. Nail Bomb is good, but with so much healing going on nowadays with Varangian Guard and Shaolin, like that is slightly nullified. But for itself is definitely nerfed, and that's a good thing, and it's not too shabby. I'd say these are pretty decent tier 4 nerfs. I don't think, I'm trying to think if there's any other tier 4 nerfs at the moment. If you guys have any other ideas on what tier 4 needs to be nerfed or buffed, let me know. Alright, so hero changes part 1. Berserker, they're nerfing his health back to 5, so it's 125 health instead from 130, okay? Now, he didn't need the health to trade. He was still going to be a ridiculous character with the dodge cancels. I knew that from the start. But the spin chop, if you guys don't know what that is, it is his dodge attack. And if you fought any decent Zerker, he would just target swap to the other enemy and dodge attack behind you. Okay, that's what he would do. That's what all Zerkers would do, to use that offensively and get into his mix-ups and just clip you and basically not have you do anything, because you can't do anything. You have to respect it. You have to just block it. It used to be enhanced, but now for Berserker only, for some reason, this is good though. Now it's not enhanced. So when he target swaps and he hits you, when he's target swapping to another person, to the teammate, your teammate, it will now act as a block stun. So he's gonna like bounce off. So you know when you light attack someone's guard and you bounce off, that's what's gonna happen with Berserker. So he is not free to do that anymore. He has to respect the mix-up or respect your guard input. So if you block that and your teammate is watching that, or if someone is like nearby or whatever, they could guard break him. Simple. All right, if you guys didn't know, if you light, if you're in a ganky situation like 2 versus 1 and the person light attacks and you guard them, your teammate has plenty of time to guard break them, a free guard break, because he's in recoveries. He can't counter guard break. But this is a very good nerf for Berserker. This guy would reign supreme in the matchmaking lobbies and freaking dodge cancel for days behind you. He couldn't do anything because he also has hyper armor. So that was really strong for the character, and it was just aggravating to just have him dodge around you 24/7 without you being able to necessarily do anything unless you had a full guard character yourself. And that's why they created Ranging Guard, so that she could stop all the BS characters dodging around. Same thing for Orochi. So that's good. Very good change in my opinion. I hope they do that for Orochi, but they're not going to do it for Orochi because he's getting a new skin. They want to keep him powerful for like a month or two, and then they'll nerf him afterwards. That's why they do that. That's why companies do that. Smart business decision, because a lot of Orochi mains love playing the character because he's free. He's free as hell. Now, Shinobi, this is a big change for the character. Light attacks can no longer be backstab. A lot of Shinobis, good Shinobis, will light freaking whiff you and then backflip, okay? This is so annoying, incredibly cancerous, and thank God he has to be up in your face now. Now, this is not like the biggest nerf ever, but it's very, very good. It's incredibly helpful for people that are fighting against Shinobi. So now he has to commit to that, because they recently nerfed crushing counter light attacks where you have to be in front of him. You can't whip that anymore and be safe. So Shinobi can't do that anymore. It's really good. But the main strength of Shinobi was his ganks, his kick, and of course his maneuverability, rotating around the map and rotating around team fights, just dodging around, having tons of distance with the double dodge and all that good stuff. The deflects are also insane as well. But now that's going to be... it's going to be a non-issue, so he has to be up in your face if he wants to try to light attack you. And I think his light attacks are very hard to parry anyways because the animations are ridiculous. Now, Ghoul's Embrace, that is going to be the attack that comes after his bash. So it's going to deal more revenge. Before it didn't deal as much revenge. So correct me if I'm wrong, but this is going to be incredibly helpful. This is considered a bash too, I believe. And when you actually land it on somebody, it doesn't... and you get hit by it, obviously. So if they have revenge, they're not popping it yet, and you do a kick into that follow-up heavy attack. So that follow-up attack, it counts as a bash. So it doesn't really... you're free to do that. That's how you pop revenge, basically. That is how you pop revenge, and it makes it so that you have to pop that. You have to pop it. If you don't pop it, then you get hit by a free attack. So Ghoul's Affliction was always a very good move. And the last one is going to be Hitakiri. So charge Mengetsu and charge Endless Myriad. The damage used to be 34. So on the finisher, fully charged unblockable heavy, used to deal 34. Now it's down to 30. A much more fair number. This one was ridiculous. You would eat so much damage. Even Bastion Last Stand and Vengeful Berry could not save you from this. This is one of the strongest moves, especially in matchmaking. Hitakiri was a nightmare, and she still is. And unfortunately, this is pretty much all of the hero changes that are going to happen for these specific characters. They'll probably be working more on other stuff, But right now, it's just a bunch of feat changes, which I'm very happy about. They nerfed a lot of the overpowered, overtuned feats that were egregious to fight against, and they probably didn't have enough time to do as much hero changes as possible. But with the next update, I'm sure they have a bunch of things in store for us. I'm sure they're also going to touch up on Nushia, so that's going to be pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, Hitakiri is still going to be pretty strong. The 34 damage heavy. I mean, that's not even your bread and butter. Your bread and butter is the kick mix-up and your variable timed heavies. She's still going to be incredibly powerful. With the Hero Fest, we saw a bunch of Hitakiris. 2 of them was a nightmare and all that good stuff. So the next part I want to talk about is the hero changes part 2, and this is mostly like quality of life changes. So let's just quickly go over them. Afeera, Astral Flip, this is when she does a dodge cancel flip. So after every attack, she has that flip. Sometimes it would bump players. It would bump the person, the enemy, and she would get a guarantee attack afterwards. And so that was pretty annoying. They removed that bug. Centurion, the Lion's Roar is also going to have less strict timing, and I believe Lion's Roar is his triple punch when he guard breaks you. So if you want to do like your max wall splat damage, you guard break, and then you do 2 punches, so 2 Lion's Roar, and then you throw him to the wall. And with Haymaker, it's a crap ton of damage. It's one of the highest guard break damage punches in the entire game. That's why Centurion's so good for dueling and really good in 4v4 ganking in general. And for Peacekeeper, increase forward range of side dodge attacks to be more in line with other attacks of similarly sized weapons. So I'm assuming this is going to be a hitbox buff for the character with dodge attacks. So it's a small buff to Peacekeeper, nothing too crazy. It's, you know, anything is better than nothing because her rework was ass, as well as Nushia's, as well as Conqueror's, as well as Lawbringer's. Now for Nushia, heavy finish no apply. Uninterruptible stance on the victim. So if you get your heavy finisher off, which is a very powerful tool, pretty decent tracking, if it's undodgeable, it'd be pretty powerful, so that'd be kind of a good buff for her. But if you got someone in that mix, okay, you're doing that animation, you're throwing them to the wall with the displacement, you had hyper armor for some reason, and so now they're just gonna basically remove that hyper armor so you can get hit out of it, and so you don't take as much damage, because if you get hit by a heavy attack, you take full damage. There's no damage reduction, so they just remove that. It's a quality of life change for Nushia, and I think it's a buff and a nerf, but it's a pretty good thing in general. You want more consistency, and it just doesn't make sense that she had hyper armor in that in the first place. And the last thing is that they removed uninterruptible stance, which is hyper armor on guard break or victim. So if you ever gotten guard broken by someone and they're throwing you, you would basically, and someone hits you, you would have hyper armor, and now they're just gonna remove that in general. So I think there's probably gonna be damage reduction still, but you're not gonna have hyper armor, so you're gonna get hit stun. So that's good. It should be good, and I don't know if it's gonna be like a ginormous change. It's just a quality of life change in general. So that's pretty much all of the patch notes for the game that's coming this Thursday. It was a pretty long video, but I had to get through as much as possible. There's a lot of information here. There's a bunch of changes to the feats. What do you guys think about the feat changes? What other feats do you guys think need nerfs or buffs? Let me know in the comments. Obviously, punch through on Conqueror makes no sense. Please adjust that, Ubisoft. But I think overall, I mean, this is going to be a pretty good season. It's going to feel more healthier. Afeera has been nerfed and toned down with her feats. And I think one of the biggest changes is going to be Berserkers not having enhanced dodge attacks anymore, especially when it comes to the target swap stuff. And it's kind of crazy too, because this is going to make it so that, I wouldn't say Varangian Guard is going to be irrelevant, but it's going to make it so that, you know, she doesn't have as much prowess, and you don't need that character in your team comps to stop Orochi and any dodge attackers in general with dodge cancel recoveries. They said that they were going to keep those dodge cancels after dodge attacks or something like that along those lines, because they like the fluidity and the variety that the character can perform, which I completely understand. But now that they removed the aspect of dodge attacks being enhanced when it's blocked, that's going to be huge, and it's going to shift the meta entirely. It's going to make it so that brain dead players or people who know how to abuse positioning and certain attacks against players, it's going to be punished more severely. So that's good. I'm glad that they're making it so the game is less brain dead. It's very important because there's a lot of brain dead characters right now. Hitakiri, Varangian Guard, Berserker, Orochi, all those characters are brain dead as fudge, and they need to be toned down like crazy, and they put down to the freaking ground. You know what I'm saying? But that's good, you know. Now we can just pull their pants down when they're freaking dodge attacking you 24/7. So that's great. I'm really happy about that. But of course, they're not going to nerf Orochi yet because of the skin. They need more money. Jesse, we need more money. We just need to do one more job, and then we're set home free. We can go live in Jamaica with all the freaking tan babes out there. You understand me, Arthur? But yeah, seriously. That's a good change, but I'm hoping Orochi gets nerfed soon within the next month or so, because I know Benkai, which is a new character that's coming out, is going to be freaking overtuned, and he's going to have 2 weapons. I'm going to be really happy about that, but still he's going to be overtuned with crazy feats. Maybe Ubisoft will learn their lesson, but I don't really think they will, man. I really don't think they will. But overall, good changes, man. I'm really happy about that. Feats is what I've been asking for. I asked for this like a bunch of freaking videos ago. I wanted them to nerf that shit to the ground. Afeera's been nerfed. Shinobi's also been nerfed too, but not too much. I think this is a great update. A lot of people are going to come back to For Honor, and they're going to feel a little bit better, because feats are one of the strongest parts about this game, and they nerfed quite a bit of them, and that's good news. That's really good news. What feats do you guys want nerfed? What heroes do you guys want nerfed or buffed? Let me know. Obviously, Conqueror, Lawbreaker, these characters in Testing Grounds, also Peacekeeper. Oh, Peacekeeper's okay, but she does need a few tweaks, and so does Nusha. So those characters need some help, and I want them to adjust them in the near future. So hopefully we get a Testing Grounds. No information on that, and no new information on the new characters. So thank you guys so much for watching, hanging out on the stream. Yeah, BEA, beautiful souls. It really goes a long way, and thank you for the generosity. You guys have been supporting this channel for so damn long, and I'm glad to be here. And it's a damn good time. It's a damn good time for us For Honor players, all right? A damn good time. But have a great day. If you enjoy what I do here, go ahead and leave a like, a thumbs up, a comment, and keep the video playing. Appreciate you guys. Bye-bye. See you later. Oh shit. Dude, that looks crazy. Wow. I think I'm gonna have to get it. That looks amazing for Warden and Peacekeepers. Holy moly. The Centurions. Dude, what is this? Freaking spawn of the Satan? Looks like satanic shit. This is a Christian family game, I thought. We're Templars, man. We're Templars. The Night faction is the only faction that matters. Looks wild, though. It's super edgy, dude. Looks pretty cool. I like it. I don't think we really have something super crazy like this. And that looks fire. That looks fire. Oh, Conk has like nothing though. He has no fire. That's weird. Yeah, here's what esports is. Is it me or does it look really laggy? The Vikings are kind of mid. I like Berserker's axes though. Highlander sword, really badass. Just a bunch of bulls. Just a bunch of bullshit. It's a good Jormungandr weapon though. I love that one. Breaking Guard looks pretty sick too. Very sick. I'm about to get this battle pass. I'm not gonna lie to you. It looks so damn good, and that's a damn good looking Valkyrie spear. Great. The Warlord one is pretty sick too. I'm loving the shield. Loving it. Actually loving it. No, I feel that slick. It's just that we don't really have this type of bombastic stuff for the Knights. At least I don't have it for my previous battle passes. Samurai is pretty mid. Very, very mid. I don't like when the sword has like a huge yokai in the face. Yeah, I think it looks stupid. Armor Shields looks pretty cool though, if I say so myself. Shinobi's is always mid. Shinobi also has he just has like mid weapons. You can't really see it anyways. Kiai's is cool. I like the axe head. I don't really care about the design as long as it looks like I can master it. Pretty good looking Kyoshin set too. Very good looking. Music is loud though. No, that's not alright, no Bushy Spear. Pretty gross. Why is it a bolt thing? I think it's because of Benkai, bro. That is not too bad. It's an eagle and it's a dragon. Or I think it might be a phoenix actually. Phoenix and then a dragon, that's pretty sick. Or a snake. Okay, that Nusha one looks terrible. Jane June's always fire. That's the same design as the freaking Yandees, man. What the hell? Lazy. Nerfs is pretty cool. Medjai's is sick as hell, dude. I gotta get that ASAP. I'm getting that one when I actually get the battle pass. Yours is pretty solid, dude. I like the mace. The mace is cool. Mace to the face. Mace to the face. Ocelotl's pretty sick. It looks like a knight one, which is weird because a lot of them don't have that flame. I'm surprised he gets a flame oriented weapon. Pretty weird. Odd choice. Odd choice when everyone else doesn't. Like Medjai could have got flames there, but he doesn't. That's weird.
So don't go anywhere. Check out these armors.
He's French?
Fashion.
Oh god, that changed my entire perception on him. That's why I only care about the jacket. Bless that jacket's heart. That's a white mask. Hopefully that changes color. That's freaking sick though. Very cool. Orochi's looks solid. I like that armor set specifically. The Shinobi one looks pretty decent. That's good because it's his cool mask. Armisha one, I don't like this specific torso. The helmet's okay. Itakiri's looks pretty plain. That looks like her default outfit actually. I'm hoping hopefully the female one has open chest too. Where's Yoshin? Solid. I can see his side nips. Very cool. 10 out of 10. Yugoki also has those side boobs. Side boob action. So. And Nobushi's. Ooh, that's a clean looking Nobushi face. God damn, you can probably change your hair color too. Let's go. That's Hawaii this in there. Let's go, baby. I'm very jelly. His hair is. And then we have Tiandi. Pretty solid. This is I'm hoping you can change a lot of his colors, pants and stuff. Probably the armor too. Shaolin. I mean, the Wulin look good. Period. They always look good. Shake my hand right now. Shake my hand, Wulin. You guys always look good. June's very cool. I like that armor set specifically for him. It makes him look like a big beefing man. I don't like that torso. Well, too bad. I do. I like the side boob action. Panhu looks pretty solid. I like that one because it looks like he's got just a clean set of armor there. Very cool. Helmet, I don't really care much about that, but it does look pretty sick. I want to cosplay as a mythical Chinese warrior. That kind of race. Dynasty Warriors Origins. Anybody stoked about that? I am. Warriors Origins, baby. Pirate, I don't like that torso. I actually hate that torso. I'll probably check out the... Actually, I don't like anything about that. I don't like anything about the Pirate. I fucking despise the character. I have PTSD from her. Medjai, solid. The helmet, he kind of looks like a clown though. I don't know why. Hopefully you can change to like Ocelotl, pretty sick. Solid overall. Afeera, I think she's gotten this type of armor set a lot, but never know. He always looks good. He looks the same like every other Afeera. I'm not really impressed. So that's just a Afeera thing. Wulin is a new hero. True. New Chapu, please. Chapu or some Hitman style.